Welcome back to Trust Your Oats. In our last episode, we demystified certifications. We talked about the difference between USDA Organic and Regenerative Organic Certified, and how those badges represent a commitment to building a better food system from the ground up. Today, we're going to talk about a different kind of promise. It's not a certification, but a pledge. A commitment to keep one of the world's most controversial and widely used herbicides out of your food, glyphosate. We're going to explore what glyphosate is, why it's so common in conventional oat products, and what it takes to keep it out. We'll also pull back the curtain on pesticide testing and explain what it really means when a lab report says non-detect. This is episode 9, Trust the Pledge. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in herbicides like Roundup. It's a powerful chemical designed to kill a broad spectrum of weeds, and it's been used in agriculture since the 1970s. But in the late 1990s and early 2000s, farmers discovered a new off-label use for it, pre-harvest desiccation. In simple terms, they started spraying it on crops like wheat and oats right before harvest to kill the plant and dry it down evenly. This made harvesting easier and more efficient, especially in cool, damp climates. But it came with a major problem. Because glyphosate is a systemic herbicide, meaning it's absorbed and transported throughout the plant, it ends up in the harvested grain. And from there, it ends up in our food. In 2018, the Environmental Working Group released a bombshell report. They tested dozens of popular oat-based breakfast cereals and found glyphosate in nearly all of them. Some products had levels that were higher than what the EWG considered safe for children. The story made national news, and suddenly, a chemical that most people had never heard of was a household name. Now, there's a lot of debate about the health effects of glyphosate. In 2015, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC, classified it as probably carcinogenic to humans. But other regulatory bodies, like the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, have concluded that it's not likely to be carcinogenic at the levels we're exposed to in food. We're not here to settle that debate. Our position is simple. We don't think it belongs in our food, period. And that's why we made a pledge to keep it out. Making a glyphosate-free pledge is easy. Keeping it is hard. It requires a completely different approach to farming and sourcing. First, it means absolutely no pre-harvest desiccation with glyphosate. Our farmers have to use other methods to dry down their crops. The most common is swathing or windrowing. This is an old-school technique where you cut the oats and lay them in rows in the field to dry naturally in the sun and wind. It takes more time, it's more dependent on the weather, and it requires more skill, but it works. Second, it means we can't buy oats on the open market. We have to work with a closed loop of trusted farmers who we know are following our protocols. We can't just assume that because a crop is certified organic, it's glyphosate-free. While organic farming prohibits the use of glyphosate, contamination can still happen from drift from neighboring conventional farms. And that brings us to the third and most important part of our pledge, testing. Every single truckload of oats that arrives at our mill is tested for glyphosate and its main breakdown product, AMPA. We use a method called liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry, or LC-MS/MS. It's the gold standard for pesticide testing, and it's incredibly sensitive. If we detect any glyphosate, that truckload is rejected, no exceptions. It never even enters our facility. Now, I want to get into the weeds a little bit on what it means to test for something and not find it. In the world of laboratory science, you'll often hear the term non-detect, or ND. It's tempting to think that non-detect means zero, but it doesn't. It means that the amount of the substance in the sample was below the laboratory's ability to reliably detect and quantify it. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a high-powered telescope. You can see incredibly far, but you can't see everything. There's a limit to your vision. Non-detect is like saying, we looked as hard as we could with the best equipment we have, and we didn't see it. That's why it's so important to know what the detection limit is. For our glyphosate testing, the limit of detection is typically 10 parts per billion, or 0.01 parts per million. To put that in perspective, the EPA's maximum residue limit for glyphosate in oats is 30 parts per million. That's 3,000 times higher than our detection limit. So when we say our oats are glyphosate-free, what we're really saying is that we've tested them using the most sensitive methods available, and we haven't found any detectable residue down to a very, very low level. It's also why we don't just rely on testing the finished product. We build a system that's designed to prevent contamination from the very beginning. We start with organic seeds. We work with farmers who use regenerative practices. We prohibit pre-harvest desiccation. We use dedicated equipment. And then, at the end of all that, we test. It's a system of trust, but it's a system that's built on verification, every step of the way. So let's bring it all together. Our glyphosate-free pledge isn't just a marketing slogan. It's an operational commitment. It's a promise that starts in the field and is verified at the mill gate. It means saying no to the easy way of doing things and choosing the harder but better way. It means building a system of trust with our farmers and a system of verification with our lab. And it means that when you see our products on the shelf, you can be confident that you're getting the purest, cleanest oats possible. In our final episode of this series, we're going to bring it all home. We're going to talk about the different types of oats, rolled, steel cut, quick, and how they're made. We'll explore what makes each one unique and how you can use them in your own kitchen. This is where the journey from seed to shelf finally ends, with a delicious, nutritious, and trustworthy bowl of oatmeal. Until then, thank you for listening, and thank you for trusting your oats.